The new video is about a simple Django template that adds some styling for the pages we already have in our project. So let me show how it looks like. Here it is. Nothing too difficult, just the smallest bootstrap CSS HTML with header and page content. So if we have logged user, if we have not authenticated user, I show the sign in and sign up page. They are the same as I showed yesterday. The pages from all-auth library. But now if I sign in, I get into my profile page. It is also almost empty, but now it is all linked, and they looks a bit better than the pages without any styles and heading. Okay, so I will show how I did it with the Django. If we look at the HTML of login form from the all-auth, let me open it. You can see this first line. It mentions extend account base.html, and let's check what's inside the base. So this first line says the current template, the template from the login.html file, extends the template from the account/base.html. Here it is. And this file also extends some base HTML file. And if we look at the all-auth files, there is no such file. There is no base.html file. It is done as is intentionally to let us easily to extend any all-auth templates just by defining the base.html template in our project. This is what I did exactly. So under the core app that has all our required codes and methods for all other applications, I created the templates folder and also created the base.html file. So if you look at the path, it is under the templates folder, and for the Django it means it is in the root of the templates. And when the all-auth looks for the base HTML, it found one in our templates. Let me explain how it looks for this base HTML. If we open our settings, there are a lot of applications listed under the installed one, and the first application that has base.html under the templates will provide the template for the all other all-auth HTML templates. So as soon as the core application appears first here, we get this base HTML from this application. But if by some reason we will need to overwrite this base HTML, we can add some other application here, and it will overwrite the base HTML from the core. This is how it works. So in the base HTML, I created some easy HTML page with head and content styled by the Bootstrap CSS library. The Bootstrap CSS library is from the Twitter company, and it's pretty mature and pretty powerful, and still light to use it in desktop and mobile both. So I usually use it for the styling. It provides some nice components for buttons, forms, models, almost all controls that are commonly used in the web applications. So I used also the Django library, Django Bootstrap 4 version 1.01, that simplifies using of the Bootstrap CSS library in the Django project. It provides specific tags for the Bootstrap CSS. I don't need to remember the path of the Bootstrap, etc. And also includes JavaScript. Some interactive things of the Bootstrap requires jQuery. I can say it's old school, but for our purposes it's pretty nice, I think, and we can change it later if we need. Okay, so it defines some navigation. In navigation, at first I have a link to the home page. Let me show. Here it is, the link to the home page. And if we look at the HTML, I use some specific tag from the Django template tag with name URL. And here I pass not the general URL, but the name of the page we have in our system. Using of the name is separated between namespace and the name of the template. Let me show where we define this namespace and the name of the template. So, as you can understand, the namespace core is the same as the core app, but I define the namespace here in the URLs file of the application. So I define the name and the list of the patterns linked with the views. So under the core application, I defined only one view with name home, empty path, and the function of the view index. It is defined in the views.p, and it's pretty simple. It just return rendered content of the template index.html from the core. Under the templates in the core application, I created the folder core that is the same as the name of the application, and also created index.html that extends our base HTML and define the name and the content. Nothing interesting here, just welcome header. So the index function render is some Django function that take the template, take the request, and return the HTML output. If we look at the URLs of our older project, I also added here the link to the core URLs, and I set the empty path. So as soon as user doesn't enter any path here, we get into the home page here. Okay, and I also created the path for customers URLs. As you remember, we also has a customers application, and I added URLs here. Namespace will be customer, and it has just only one URL for the profile. The file, page that is opened by default when user is logged in or signed up. So here it is, the customer. And this customer is from this path linked to customers URLs, and the empty path under the customers handled by the profile view function. And it also doesn't do any smart things, just render the customers profile.html file that is under the customers /template /customer /profile. It's just show the user and header, that's all. Why I add customers folder under templates here? This is a common notation when we keep all the templates of the application under the application name folder. It is important because some application can redefine some templates from other applications. So, for example, I may want to change the login page, and to do this I will need to redefine this template. This template has the name login.html and placed under the account /login. It is under the all-aus library, but if I want to redefine it, I can create the same path under templates of almost any applications in my project. So I can create account login HTML here, and I can redefine anything here. Let's see what will happen now. Here it is. So it's just render what it has in the login.html under our application. If I extend from our base HTML, it will be styled a bit better. So as you see, it replaces completely the content of the login HTML from the old auth library. Return it back. So templates can be we can override templates between the applications if we need. Okay, there is one more thing I want to show when tell about our template. In web interfaces, it usually requires to show the current page in navigation in somewhere else. So, for example, when I am on a home page, I want to have the link to a home page highlighted. If I on a sign-in page, I also want to have it highlighted. On sign up, the same. It's not too highlighted too much, but so it's like how it works in Bootstrap, in default theme of the Bootstrap. So you see, when I click on a sign in, it's highlighted by the darker font. And there is no way in Django how to do this by default, because it is too specific functionality. In some applications it exists, in some of them it is not required. So Django doesn't define anything for this. But it can be handled pretty elegant way. Let me show our base.html file. So for sign in link, I use this line. This is another command, another tag from the Django template, include. By the name you can understand it includes the following HTML file with some parameters. And this navlink.html is the file I created to simplify listing of the menu items in navigation with the feature of highlighting of the current page. So you can see I compare the current page with the page, and if you look at how I call how I included this template, I pass the page with name like this, and the name of the menu item. So when the page parameter passed from outside is equal to the current page, something that is not defined here, but it should be present in the template context. The context is a kind of the dictionary used to render the template. So if the page is current, I add the active class. Active is a class from the Bootstrap CSS library. And also, if current page is equal to current page, I add this content. This is for accessibility of the website. This is so it is defined in the Bootstrap CSS library rules of building navigations. And here we don't know anything about the current page, but we expect it can be equal to a page. So where the current page parameter is defined, if we look in any HTMLs like a base or any other, we cannot find current page. So let's look for the current page. And we can find one under the context processors, and you can see I link here some something with name current page from context processors from the core. And the context processors is the module from the core application that has a current page function. What is context processors? Context processors is a methods or functions that Django use to process context of the properties passed to the Django templates when rendering. So you see some context processors, debug, request, auth, messages, etc. They are from the Django itself. They do something. And we can also add our own context processor. So I add one for the current page. And what I did here, I check I check the request. The context processor gets the request as a parameter, HTTP request, and I return the current page property with value from the request view name, resolver match view name. This is a specific Django information about the current view. What is the view name? View name is the name from the URLs. So if the name is profile, current page will have profile value. If the page is home, the current page will be home, etc. And also this name will be prefixed with the namespace if URLs are included with the namespace. So for example, our customer application and our core applications has the namespace, core for the core and customer for the customers. This is why I pass the customer profile here as a page. Django all else doesn't define any namespace. They use just a name. This is why we have only account logout here or account login, account sign up here. So this is an elegant way to put into template context information about the current view, current page. So we can use it. Okay. Okay, one more thing I can tell about the Django templates is the way of the extending Django templates. So the templates can be extended. I already show how it works. So we add the extends tag with the name of the template we want to extend. And if the base template has some block is just a part of the template, nothing else. So for example, our base template has block with name, head, title that add something to our title. And we bring it here to redefine this this head title later in the sub pages. So as you see, we have cruise sign in here. and in the sign up we will have Greece sign up, etc. So if some page that extends this base HTML page, for example index.html, define own head title with own data like home, it will appear in the base template on the place it defined the head block. So I added home 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it should appear in the head title. You see? Okay. And the same way the other blocks can be extended or redefined by the subpages and subtemplates. Django templates can be extended and text, so the Django templates can be extended from the different libraries and applications. And here you can see the template tag to load some libraries. So here I load Bootstrap 4 library and also account library. This one is from the Django Bootstrap and this one is from all out. They bring some additional things. So this Bootstrap CSS is from the Bootstrap 4 and user display tag is from the account. I think later we will use more libraries, so we will see how it works. And we can also define our own tags if required. For the moment we do not need any text, so we'll see how it works later. I think this is all about brief introduction about the Django templates.